right, I'm driving out to Glamis, California, Imperial Sand Dunes. I'm actually heading out there to film the next Photography Trek and Adventure series, meeting up with one of the owners of Turtleback Trailers out there. So it should be a lot of fun, but this video is not about that. This morning, as I'm packing and getting things, kind of last minute things, kind of tidied up and ready for the trip, I saw news that there was a new firmware update for the DJI Smart Controller. You may recall a few weeks back I was talking about how I had picked up one of these things and absolutely loved it, but the downside is I could only use it with one of my 3 drones that I have. I have the Mavic Pro 2, the Mavic Air 2, and the Mavic Mini. And so I've been really waiting, like so many others, for this thing to be compatible with the Mavic Air 2. And so I was trying to do the firmware update this morning, and long story short, it made it to 99% and it just kept, it wouldn't do anything. I called DJI up and DJI wasn't really much help. They're like, well, you got to send the controller to us. Yeah, okay. So anyway, that reminded me that I needed to share with you guys and be upfront with you guys of how I recently majorly screwed up. And the fact that I'm talking about the DJI Smart Controller, this and that, you might be able to start at least getting an idea of where my compass is pointed, where that screw up is pointed at here. You see, for the last, 10 years or so, I have never crashed a drone. And I didn't crash a drone here by the traditional sense that you're probably thinking right now. But I will share this. So last week, or the week before, excuse me, my son and I, we were all over the place. We were shooting a lot of B-roll for, I was going to be releasing a new video aimed at a lot of people that maybe or might have picked up a new Mavic Air 2 and wanted to understand different features that the drone comes with. So from the active track to the doing hyperlapses to the quick shots, and it was probably going to be about a 20-minute video. It was a beast. There was a lot of video that was a lot of different B-roll that was captured for this here. So all the extra shots are all done and on a memory card inside the drone. Remember that part here in a minute. So now I wanted to kind of just raise the production value of the video up and actually have some B-roll showing me navigating through the app. And so where I would have the camera position in front and it would be aimed at the app, and you would be able to see my fingers navigating and pushing what buttons to get to where. Now the problem was, if I do this outside, I'm fighting with glare. And so I decided, okay, the best way to do this, the best course of action would be I shoot this from within my studio, because I can kill the lights and that would cut down the glare and you'd be able to really focus on what my fingers are doing. So, but to navigate through some of these things, the drone has to be in the air. So I came up with this brilliant idea that I'm going to shoot this inside my studio. Now the challenge is my studio is on the 2nd floor of my house. Now let me take a step back. When I go to the beach and I fly my Mavic Air 2, I always take off from my hand and I land it in my hand. It's nothing new. I do it all the time because I don't want the sand to get in the motors. So I decide that I have this really bright idea that I'm going to take the screen off the window. I'm going to put the drone in my hand and I'm going to take off from my studio window on the 2nd floor.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
So now you can probably really see where this is leading now. The props start spinning. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, I can move my hand. The thing's ready to go. Again, just a dumbass, boneheaded decision. The thing didn't have enough lift. And long story short, it fell. It hit my gutter first, which I think my Polar Pro filter is probably hanging in there because I couldn't find it on the ground. Anyways, so it hit there first and then it flopped over 10 feet down on the cement. It was such a nasty sound and you just know it was a solid hit. I go down there now, to be honest, I was expecting the worst. I go down and it's sitting there on the ground. Yeah, no kidding, yeah, sitting on the ground. So, but it's sitting upright. I'm like, oh, okay. And I pick it up, and the only evidence that it had fallen is on the bottom. There's like a little scrape on it. So I inspected it, and you know, out of curiosity, you gotta see if it flies. And so I pulled the joysticks back, and it takes off. Now it's vibrating pretty bad. I'm getting an error on it saying gimbal overload, and there was an error on there, something to do with the SD memory card. And I'm like, God dang it, what the hell am I gonna do? Okay, so after speaking with one of my editors, I decided what I was going to do is, you know, I'd go out in the field, and you know, where there's big ass field, and just shoot the additional B-roll that I needed, and just deal with the glare. And the reason why I say the field is, you know, the thing just took a pretty nasty fall. Big ass field. In case it falls or does anything, it's in a field. It's not going to hurt buddy. It's not going to harm any property or this and that. So go out there, and I ended up getting the B-roll that I needed. But you know, obviously it shows that there's some sort of gimbal error, and I figured, okay, I would have this yuck, okay, I screwed up moment in this video. So I shoot all this. Now it's time for me to start doing the editing, start downloading all the files. Remember that memory card I told you about that was inside this drone? That had all this B-roll in it? I stick it into the computer. The computer doesn't recognize it. Damn. I go to my Razer computer, hoping that possibly, please, let that computer recognize it. Hell, that was no different. That thing just wanted to format the card. So, yeah, this really sucks ass. So all the files were gone. So I had nothing to work with. And so, yeah, you guys a couple weeks ago would have had a video on the Mavic Air 2, but that's going to be postponed. But I wanted to at least level with you and share with you, I'm not immune to random acts of stupidity. That by far was, I still cannot believe I did that. So, and especially now that DJI released that firmware update, and I'm like, God damn it, that would be a lot of fun out at Glamis this weekend. And so, anyways, whatever footage that you see from Glamis is all going to be shot on the Mavic Pro 2. Actually, I tried to buy a Mavic Air 2 this morning from Best Buy. Well, actually, I was going to go in there if I could get the firmware updated from DJI, but that didn't work. So, anyways, I may, while I'm at Glamis, if I can get that firmware to download properly, I may swing on out and try to track one down. But anyways, guys, that is it. So I'm always going to share with you guys, or be upfront with you guys on a lot of the good, and I'm not going to be shy and hold things back. I'm going to share with you, throw myself underneath the bus, so therefore you don't make the same mistake that I did. All right, guys, that is it for this video. So you get out there, have a kick-ass weekend, and, or depending on when you see this video, create your best shot.